The Symphonic Resonance Mermonkey just got a devastating nerf, but is it actually that bad? I have no idea, but we are definitely gonna try and find out. So let's play a map that's a little bit on the more, I want to call it the annoying side. This is Polyphemus. Polyphemus did get changed in the recent update, so now the Bloons actually do take a turn around the eye. They don't just continue straight down. And I think this is gonna be the perfect map for us to try the bottom path Mermonkey, in which, well, as you guys know, that's the tower that essentially spins the Bloons around in a circle, keeps them in the same spot so that you can pop them. And in the latest update, the Mermonkey got a pretty serious nerf, I want to say, but just how impactful is it gonna be, we're about to find out. Now, the nerf itself is that the Symphonic Resonance can no longer pull in BFBs, and that was a huge portion of its power essentially. So you guys know that this thing can pull mobs, it can pull DDTs and BFBs. It stops there with the 4th tier, and now you can no longer do that unless you buy the 5th tier, the Final Harmonic. I guess the thing and the question that I have is it still useful as it was? Is it still going to be very helpful in the ultra late game, and how is it going to perform when these actually like rounds like the 90s and the more difficult ones start coming out? So first off, are we dealing with this one? It's going to be around 15 and then we dealt with it, but the eye is going to close. And let's actually keep it closed for a second. I don't want to be spending money on opening it. I'm going to have the cocktail like this in case we need it. Now for this specific video, I wanted to actually, let me just use the cocktail. By the way, things are not looking good with these pink balloons, but for this specific video, I did want to use these sort of new-ish, if you want to call them like that, support towers, which is the Mermonkey. The Mermonkey is not that new of a tower, to be fair, but the Mermonkey, and then this Absolute Zero Ice, which if you guys remember in I think it was the recent, like the previous update, they added this aura being able to slow mob class balloons by 20%, and in this update they buffed it to 30%, so that's amazing. And keep in mind that slow also stacks with some other sources of slow, like for example the mob glue, the relentless glue, which I don't exactly plan on buying, by the way. I also had to buy this wizard. Let's see how we're doing on these early 20s. Now that's the problem with this Polyphemus map, like the start is just so annoying, and I bought a wizard which is not gonna do too well versus these purples. So do we open the eye or do we go for a millipede druid? Let's just see how we do versus these purples actually. I'm gonna get the Heart Evoke. I'm gonna have the druid and the dark monkey on strong. We do have a cocktail upcoming, so I'm actually gonna use that, and as long as we pop the purple layer, we should be fine on this one. Yeah, there we go. Okay, let's just buy the druid of the jungle just to be safe on the upcoming rounds, I think. Alright, I mean, so far so good. We're playing with the eye closed, and we have quote-unquote saved about $1,500. That is by not opening the eye, I guess. So let me go like this. I want to have the wildfire set in this specific spot. This is round 36. We're gonna go for the Archmage actually. So I want to defend with the Archmage and the Elite Defender Sniper, but I do want to have the Elite Defender inside of the eye. Now in order for us to make that happen, we're gonna need to buy an Arctic Wind Ice first and open the eye and then do the thing. So that's gonna be probably in the 40s. We're gonna have the Mobbing coming in a second, and I'm not exactly sure how we deal with this guy actually. So let's just save the money, and if we need to restart, we are going to. We do have the cocktail, we do have the wall of fire, but our mob damage is atrocious. We're not gonna have the money for like, and I don't think we should actually be opening the eye at this point, honestly. As long as we pop the mob layer, we should be able to deal with the ceramics. But where do we put the cocktail, guys? let's actually have it like this. Let's see if this combination of both of these, like the wall of fire and the cocktail, is gonna do anything. We actually do get the pop. Wait a minute, we might actually have this. Okay, what if I just get the Arcane Mastery? This is gonna improve this guy's range. Let's have the wildfire like this. The cocktail is set in this intersection, and let's use the cocktail a little bit earlier. Actually, I think it's gonna last. Yeah, so we do the damage over here, then it's gonna make a turn around the eye, and I think the cocktail is still gonna be on the field. Oh my god, that's so much better. Yes, that's exactly what we need to do. Alright, so I think the time has come, guys. Let's start buying up the thing that we need to defend all these early rounds. Now we have to go for the Mermonkey, so let's start things off with the Arctic Wind Ice, and then let's actually, we don't want to remove the eye right now. It's around 43. We're not exactly gonna need it. Let's wait a tiny bit more, because if we open it up, we're just gonna waste $4,500. I think we can defend these upcoming rounds. Yeah, this is gonna get kind of tricky on these like camo purple rounds for sure though, because the cocktail doesn't work, the wizard doesn't even have camo and it doesn't work. Oh wait a minute, we're leaking these guys actually. Yep, there's purples leaking in the bottom. Okay, we can actually do something like this. We can get the snowstorm. I'm pretty sure this is probably not gonna be an issue, because we're going for the Absolute Zero anyway, so this is not like a failed upgrade. So let's wait for these purples to come out, and then we're gonna use let's actually use the cocktail in combination with, oh, it actually doesn't do damage to them, it just freezes them. Oh my god, that's a ridiculous interaction. You know why it works like that? I think it's because we don't have the camo upgrade on it. Okay, what if I buy the camo upgrade on the eyes though? Is it gonna be able to do damage? Because it's supposed to do 1 damage exactly to these guys, so let's wait and see. Let me use it. Yeah, that's exactly the reason why we didn't have the camo upgrade. Alright, so round 47, I don't mind opening the eye up now because this is gonna be staying open until the 50s, right? And we do have the ice tower going, so let's actually have the elite defender like this in the range of both villages. Let's start off with the 203, which is gonna be amazing. You know, having your towers in the eye is just so good. Look at all the buffs. You get discount, which by the way does stack with the village discount, and this does apply up to tier 5 as well. You get range if you needed to, you get jungle jumps, and you get camo detection. And we're going for the top crosspath, so this is gonna be a godsend. By the way, did I mention the jungle jumps from the village does stack with the jungle jumps from the eye? Yup, you have double extra attack speed. Just absolutely insane how good this thing is. But of course with a huge downside, and that is that you have to just keep spending money in order for this to work. So entering the 50s, we have about 11,000. I was saving the cash, but I think we need to go for the full auto, so let's buy this thing and let's just chill, see how we do onto these 50s. I'm gonna keep this guy set on strong the sniper because of when I'm dealing with the Moab layers. And honestly, I think with all these leftovers, unless there are some purple balloons, we should be completely fine with it. Actually, with the sniper even, I can just change the targeting to first. Yeah, look at how fast this guy melts everyone. As long as these guys are not regrow, by the way, because he can turn like a huge wave of ceramics into a big regrow farm like 76 though. And by the way, look at the price. Elite defender, $13,500 on round 55. I'm just gonna buy this thing. We're not stopping here, by the way. We're gonna need this guy's damage on like these big rounds with the 45 Moabs around 63, which are incoming. Alright, so I wanted to talk to you guys a little bit about this bottom path Mermonkey and the crosspath, what the preferred crosspath is, as this elite defender is just melting 45 Moabs, by the way. So first off, let me just, and hopefully I'm not misunderstanding how this thing works, but I guess the way that this symphonic resonance and the sucking in of Moab class balloons works, I'm just gonna buy it, by the way, if we have the money. We do, by the way, thanks to the discount. I completely forgot about this thing. Yeah, let's just buy it. The way that this symphonic resonance pool works is that it has essentially two cooldowns related to it. So the first one is called Hypnotize, and that's essentially the speed at which Moab class balloons are getting sucked in. And the second one is called Allure, and this thing is on a fixed cooldown, the Allure thing, which is essentially this animation where balloons are going around it. Now the Allure cooldown cannot be reduced but the Hypnotize one can be. And so if you go for the top crosspath, essentially the Hypnotize cooldown is being reduced by, let me just dump the level 10 ability because why not? If you go for the top crosspath, the Hypnotize cooldown, which is the speed at which Moab class balloons are getting sucked in, is getting reduced, which is kind of nice for sure. But if you go for the middle crosspath, which is essentially it adds pierce in a way, the way that this thing combines with the symphonic resonance is that it increases the number of balloons that it sucks in at a time. So for example, let's say you send in 10 Moabs. If you go for the top crosspath, the way that it's going to be pulling in the balloons is going to be Moab number 1, Moab number 2, Moab number 3, 4, and so on. But if you go for the middle crosspath, the way that it's going to be sucking balloons is going to be 2 Moabs, 4, 6, 8. So it's going to be pulling in 2 instead of 1. And when I actually read up on this and when I realized that this was the case, I was like, what was I doing? Why was I going for the top crosspath this whole time? I have to try this middle crosspath now. And I actually tested it in Sandbox. It looks really good, guys. It actually looks really decent, and I really wanted to test it. Alright, so at 76, the eye is going to close. We're in 75 currently, so I think the elite defender is going to do its thing, but we have to quickly open it to 76. And actually, you know what, let me just buy the arcane spike because we're still going for the archmage, so why not? Getting this little extra bit of damage is going to be nice, I guess, overall. And let's see how the elite defender does. So this Mermonkey is doing the thing, guys. Let's actually watch it suck in a couple, if any mobs can survive. Actually, mobs are not surviving, so that we can see 2 mobs getting sucked in at a time. That's really sad. Alright, so the eye is going to close 3.5 out. It hurts so much doing that. That's a lot of money. Alright, so the pulling of these Moab class balloons like 2x2 is going to be really evident and really helpful actually once we enter free play mode. This is where we're going to need this Mermonkey because we still don't have money for the archmage. The elite defender is struggling. I don't think he's struggling, but he's trying his best by himself. Let's actually move him to first. We do need to micro him a little bit because we do need to spread the damage between the small and the big balloons. But yeah, this symphonic resonance, guys, look at how much work it's doing on like these early 80s so far. This is really good. We do finally get the money for the archmage, so let's buy the archmage. Let's get some extra damage and look at the symphonic resonance. This is the tower that we came here to test, and this guy is gonna be so useful. I have a feeling. I don't know, guys, like this nerf was definitely unpleasant for sure, but I have a feeling that this tower is still gonna be super useful. Maybe they want to reduce the price a little bit now they can no longer pull BFBs, but besides that, I mean, I don't see a problem with this tower. Yeah, so we've been playing these 80s, we're entering the 90s, and so far this symphonic resonance, I gotta be honest, it's been doing a lot of work. We have not exactly exactly been encountering that many BFBs, and that's because we have the Elite Defender, which is set on strong. So essentially it's eliminating the BFB layer, it's leaving them to Moabs, and then the Moabs are the Moab class Bloons that this guy can actually suck in. So that's been really helpful for sure, but yeah, he's just such a useful tower still, I feel like. We do have camera detection, by the way, because we have the Elite Defender inside of the eye, so we're not exactly worried about DTs yet. And I say yet because rounds 95 and 99 are definitely going to be an issue. And by the way, Absolute Zero, let's buy this new one. I'm super excited to check out this new aura, which is now 30%. The ability is on a super fast cooldown, so all of these things, they should kind of combine with each other. So we slow the Bloons down, we're keeping them in the spot, and then the Mermonkey is absorbing them. This is it, guys. This is the plan. Let's get the primary training as well. You know what? Let's get the mentoring, because I want to extend this this aura to kind of be able to reach these guys at the top as well. And I don't know, do we need some more damage, guys? I don't know. Let's save up some money in case we need to intervene. But if we defend with these two towers, which are kind of mediocre tier 5s, then that's going to be a testament to how good the Symphonic Resonance is. So look at this thing. Yes, there we go. Such a useful tower, actually. Alright, so carrying the big round, so 94. I'm going to have the sniper still on strong, which means that he's focusing down the ZMGs, and these BFBs are actually surviving. So look at this thing. Now, this is the Nerf in action. It would previously have been able to suck in these BFBs as well, but now we're only keeping to Moab class Bloons. So, I don't know. I think I'm just going to switch this guy to first, the Elite Defender. I'm going to freeze all the Bloons for a second because the Absolute Zero is just sitting like that, not doing anything. And let's see how we do versus 94. I think we're going to have a pretty clean clear, and this is because 94 has no fully fights on it, but 96 and 98 do. So those are going to be the real test. Alright, so let's see how we do this one. This is a very important round. I'm going to set the Elite Defender to strong. We have all abilities ready. Gwen is level 20. Farstorm does a lot of damage actually to Moab class Bloons, and let's see the Symphonic Resonance in action. How good is this thing exactly? Is it still worth using? If you ask me, versus all these like small Bloons, it's still super useful. I guess if it can no longer pull BFBs, I mean, one of the things that they might consider doing it is reducing the price a little bit. But come on, guys, look at this thing just stalling everything. Look at how good it is. That is insane. That was the entirety of round 95 gone, and all of our towers actually gone. So let's spend this. Gonna be the last amount of money to spend. $4,500. Ridiculous. Yeah, there's a tax to pay and pull off from us for sure, but that tax is absolutely worth it. Let's actually freeze all these guys, just buy ourselves a little bit of time because there's 45 mods beneath the BFB. So are we still keeping the sniper on strong? The ZMGs are just starting to come out, so let's move into first. Let's actually do one more freeze so that we do a little bit more damage to these BFBs, and we kind of thin out the round and we separate the big ones from the small ones. Actually, we can just keep the freeze going, guys, because this ability, the Absolute Zero, is really not in a huge cooldown. Yeah, it seems like that's gonna be about it for 96, honestly. I mean, that was an easy clear as well, even though we saw the first more serious 45 Bloons. Alright, 97, by the way, an absolute joke, and let's get ready for 98. 98, 99, and 100 are gonna be the big ones. For around 100, honestly, the Mermonkey doesn't do anything, so we might either consider getting the final harmonic so we can pull in the ZMGs, or we can just buy something that deals with the bad layer by itself. But let's see how we do on 98. Alright, so I think let's how are we starting this one? Are we keeping the sniper on strong or what? Let's start with using the ice ability, so we just want to keep the slow going as much as possible. This, by the way, slow radius, you're not exactly probably seeing it or noticing it, but it's been doing its thing. And you know it's been doing its thing because we've been kind of winning something that we're not supposed to be winning so far. Alright, so Symphonic Resonance, again, look at this Nerf, by the way, 45 BFVs not getting sucked in. So I think we have to switch the sniper to first now because we're kind of getting a little bit tight, you know, around the middle. Is the Mermonkey gonna shine onto these rounds? This is gonna be the most important question, guys. We do have some Gwen abilities if we need to intervene, but I'm not even gonna upgrade to the final harmonic. We do have the money. I just want to see the Symphonic Resonance, and I think we are gonna be able to do it. I don't see any ZMGs up top. The ice is slowing everyone down. I'm gonna use the ability, the top, oh my god, the top portion of all these Bloons have been taken care of, and now it's the bottom one, and I think we absolutely do have this one. Look at this Symphonic Resonance go. It's absolutely insane how good this tower still is after the nerf. Let's go to strong onto the sniper because we're gonna have some 45 DETs. It shouldn't be a problem, really. It really shouldn't be an issue because they're all getting sucked in. Oh, let's actually freeze them. So the alert cooldown just triggered, which is a 5-second cooldown, and with the help of the Absolute Zero, yeah, it's gonna be a little bit of a, you know, a downtime on the sucking in, I guess, of Bloons. But as long as you can manage around it, you know, just keep the Bloons slowed or whatever it is, you're gonna be totally fine. So 36.6 is the amount of money that we have left over. We could probably go for the final harmonic if necessary. Do we have the damage for all these guys? Let's actually see if we do. Let's use the level 10 ability in combination with the cocktail. Hopefully we pop the bad layer. If we do, it's gonna be fine, which we do. And then as soon as all these ZMGs and BFB start popping, let's use the Absolute Zero ability. Let's have the Mermonkey start sucking these guys in as fast as possible, and there it is. We get it done. And guys, honestly, what a performance from the Symphonic Resonance. excellent. 014, this is still a solid tower, even though it can no longer pull BFBs. I mean, come on, it was just keeping everyone in place, and it was a real MVP in this entire run. But that's gonna be it for this one. Thank you guys so much for watching the video, and I'm gonna see you on the next one.